legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased of a sisterhood, of a race. It's the strength of me, it's the strength, it's the legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased of a sisterhood, of a race. In my shoes, listen to my blues. I stand before you, resilient.
I love that you were able to join IG Live with us tonight. I see some people are trickling in, but I say we jump into it. Everybody, I am Levi Perrin. This is another edition of the Unerased Instagram Live series where we talk about all of our favorite things with our favorite people. Tonight, I am with Nkechi Taifa, the founder of the Taifa Group and just kind of all around badass. So thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nkechi. Like, how'd you get into movement stuff? How'd you get into justice? What makes you want to be in racial equity? Like, how does it all speak to you?
Well, I've been at it a long time, my brother. Long before you were born. I ain't no spring chicken there. Well, actually, that's probably why I'm one of the unerased Black Women Speak that Gwen McKinney is trying to promote, because I have been out in the struggle for a long time. And many of the issues that I've been talking about and preaching about all this time are just now really becoming to be part of the mainstream. So I'm feeling really good. I mean, I was talking about reparations way back when I was a teenager, and we're talking about, that was like 5 decades ago when I was a teenager. Okay. Yeah, so I was always concerned about injustice in society. Mm-hmm. Ever since, as a young girl, I'm flipping open a book in the den of my parents' home called A Pictorial History of the Negro in America. It was by Langston Hughes and Howard Metcalf. And I'm flipping through and I see this article about a 14-year-old boy named Emmett Till who was lynched and found at the bottom of Mississippi's Tallahatchie River. And it had a deep impact on me way back then. Why? Because I was a baby. I was a baby when Emmett Till was murdered. And I'm thinking, dang, that's in my lifetime? You know, I thought all of that stuff happened way back in slavery time, which to my young mind was like millions of years ago.
Forever ago, right.
Of time, yeah. So I didn't realize that was in my lifetime. I didn't realize that Fannie Lou Hamer was beat to within an inch of her life just for trying to register to vote when I'm in kindergarten. I mean, you know, and I didn't know all these things. So it had a deep impact on my mind. And I just always wanted to be about fighting for justice, you know, because it's just us, you know. And so that's why I became a lawyer and an activist and an advocate and a revolutionary and all those good things.
That's the thing that that's made me love history, is understanding that time is a lot shorter than we think it is. And I remember when I saw the image of Emmett Till when I was a little kid. I think it was in probably one of the like Jet Pictures of the Week or something, and flipping through the magazine at my grandparents' house. And I remember just being so surprised, because as a child, I knew that slavery happened, but I don't think in my head I understood that these things happen to kids.
Yeah.
And that just kind of always stuck with me, and why I've loved and wanted to know every single thing I could about Black history since. Like, what else are you not telling me? What else is out there?
Well, that's why I wrote one of my children's books, Shining Legacy, about Black heroes and heroines: Malcolm, Harriet, Rosa Parks, Marcus Garvey, Toussaint Louverture, Denmark Vesey, Harriet Tubman, who else? Sojourner Truth, Paul Robeson, I forgot who all else, Fannie Lou Hamer. So everybody. I wanted you not to go through what I went through, not to go through what you went through, but to know from a young age about the greatness of our past. Okay, yeah. So I was just giving myself a little shameless plug. Oh
no, you're good, because that's what I was gonna ask about next. Like, what got you into writing? And you've written multiple children's books. Yeah, that I believe were just recently republished too, right?
Wait, hold on. The Adventures of Kojo and Alma. These were banned. 3 Tales of Wisdom, banned. I also had a reparations book that I wrote way back in 1987 that was also banned. All these were banned by the York, Pennsylvania school district. Can you believe it? I mean, it's like they later reversed the ban after CNN found out all about it, and it got all in the news. It wasn't just my book. It was Ibrahim Kendi. I mean, all of anything.
Yeah, they said get rid of all of it black.
Yeah, written by black people. So I put my books that were banned. These books were written like back in the late 70s, early 80s. I put them back in print precisely as a result of the bans. And I wanted them to be available for a new generation to love and enjoy. But I also did a memoir, Black Power, Black Lawyer. My Audacious, that's me when I was, actually I was 20 then. I was a
I love how all of the figures are in your hair.
Yeah, because they were in my head. They were ingrained within my mind. That is exactly the intent. They were part of my hair wrap. They were part of making me who I am today.
So what made you want to write a memoir? I'm all about knowing why do people want to preserve themselves in words. I love it, but tell us about it.
No, the reason why I wanted to write my memoir is because a lot of what you see out there is the civil rights movement, civil rights era. You don't hear a lot about what moved and grooved me, which was the Black Power era. You know, I came up kind of after Martin Luther King with Malcolm X, By Any Means Necessary, you know, and I feel that a lot of that history has been erased, has been swept under the rug. And I wanted folks to know that there were legitimate people there who you don't hear about in the history books, such as Imari Obadeli and Queen Mother Moore and Chokwe Lumumba. Well, you're beginning to hear about him now because he became the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. But these were revolutionaries, okay?
Right.
Kwame Afo. I learned and I studied at their feet, and they were talking about Black nationalism, you know, coming from the teachings of Malcolm, the teachings of Marcus Garvey, you know, Pan-Africanism. I learned about reparations from the movement, and these are all things that I feel should not be erased, should not be swept out of the rug, that people should know. So I told my story about growing up in that era and then becoming a lawyer and still inculcating a lot of those principles into what I do in my professional life as well.
Now, I actually want to circle back to reparations too, because you did appear on our reparations podcast episode. And I just want to ask, what does it look like to you if reparations happens tomorrow and the check is signed?
Well, first of all,
or the policy is signed, what does it look like to you?
Let me just clear up one thing.
Yeah.
Reparations is more than a check. The harms from the enslavement era were multifaceted. Thus, the remedies must be multifaceted as well. Now, I'm not negating a check. I mean, some people do. I'm not negating, but that is not the end all to what reparations is. There was so much harm that was done to our people. The repair for that harm is much more than just, just a check. But I will say this, reparations is an issue whose time has come. Honestly, Leva, I never imagined that we will be at the point where we are now. When I first started working on reparations as a teenager, then all the way up through the founding of NCOVA, the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America, of which I'm a founding member, going on through being a commissioner on NARC, the National African American Reparations Commission, to starting my own reparations organization, REP, the Reparation Education Project. I never believed that that 2020 candidates, Democratic candidates vying for the nomination would have reparations as part of their platform. Well, we have more co-sponsors than ever on HR 40, which is the federal bill to establish where the state of California right now today is engaged in historic hearings on reparations, where the state of, the city of Evanston, Illinois, passed the reparations bill. You know, where corporations and industries are talking about the issue, where universities and religious institutions are talking about the issue. Reparations is an issue whose time has come, and I'm just smiling all over because it is mainstream now.
Yeah. And it's time.
It is time. And Mary Frances Berry was on the Unerased podcast that was done dealing with reparations as well. And, you know, she really helped to bring out from under the corners some of the people such as Callie House, who really jump-started the first mass-based reparations movement back in the late 1800s, and was persecuted and prosecuted as a result of her advocacy way back then. But Mary Frances Berry wrote a book about Kelly House called "My Face is Black, It's True." And all of these things, we need to know about our history.
Yeah. We need to know. We can't let it sit on the shelf unused.
Exactly. You got it. And it's like, it's not just history, because it's happening today. You know, the police today is just a manifestation of the slave patrols, the patty bowlers of yesterday. But I forgot the brother who was just murdered in his bed, like Breonna Taylor was. I mean, it's just like there's a direct connection.
Yeah.
Between the atrocities of the past and what is happening today, and reparations seeks to capture all of that. So it's more than a check. It's more than just all of the horrors from the enslavement era, but it's from everything that's happened since then down through today as well. So I'm glad to be part of that movement, as well as a lot of other movements as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing the work. We're coming up on the last couple of minutes. I guess the last thing I'll throw out for you, and then you throw out anything you want, is where can the people find your books? Where can they support you? Where can they find you on social? How do we get to Nkechi?
All right, my name, Nkechi Taifa, Nkechi Taifa. There are not many of me, so you start typing it in, and once you get over, I won't even mention who that is. You'll get to me, but NkechiTaifa.org. NkechiTaifa.org. That has all of my stuff. It's called the Nkechi Taifa Experience. It has my memoir. It has my children's books. It has my videos. It has anything you might want to know about me. My scholarly writings is on there. But you can also go to reparationeducationproject.org. Reparation, no S. Reparationeducationproject.org. We just launched last month, and it keeps a repository of the reparation work that I'm doing.
Perfect. I think that's the perfect note to end it. Oh, no, go ahead.
The Taifa
we have
Group.
time.
I'm a consultant also. The TaifaGroup.com. You can find, I got a lot of stuff, y'all. So I have to split it up amongst a lot of different things. But you can also find me on Unerased Black Women Speak.
And you're one of our prime timers as well.
I am, yes. I'm thrilled to be. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining. We will be back 2 weeks from tonight. Stay tuned for our next guest. And we love you, Nkechi. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Levi. I love you too, and thank you for having me.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.